The loyalty of a codependent rises and falls with the tide, the sands of dream and delusion no different in the cascading shoreline. It is the security of the parts to find reliance in another, yet their depths of proprioception null, as unity asunders. Pawns are made amongst the masses of pride and class, where one's true colors bleed, depends upon he who stands last. Civilized these animals became, in the time of earthly pleasure, though the unknown still evokes their fearful incendiary nature. Enraged has been their history, and fiery in confrontation, equality falls to dominance at the idea of damnation. It is by the very thought that more or less could be had, which catalyzes the turbulence and is projected on woman and man. Their superficial, parochial perspective on purpose incites the collective ego with declaration and pompous, not willing or able to come to the recognition within that not one essence of creation has been spawned by the Homo sapiens. All has been a privilege, a time and place to idealize, yet these thresholds are crossed, perverted, and idolized. And now in the future nigh, man's reality shall reign true, where that which he deems himself will be offered back times two. Easily himself he fooled, with the idea of permanence. To think he could survive his ego is itself a perpetuation of deviance. The acquirers have played the role for all of human history as a necessary evil to manage longevity. Yet they be the most fallen of the parts, for their dharma be of divine ordination to maintain society at large, and distort the prism of the self they did through the sublimation of ego, and manifest their consciousness as the reality toward freedom. Therein lies the faith of these blinded jackasses, to toil the fields incessantly, and upon the fruits of their labor collapse. Never useless even in death, though the acquirers may lead one to believe, all and none of the parts' efforts promote the illusion which began in the sleeve. Gather round, my brothers and sisters of kin. We are in dire straits. That which we hold most dearly is in a threat most great. It has been notified to me by those of the informational status that your extreme freedom of choice is no more than an apparatus. For you see you have been swooned and have fallen into the guise of allowing your entitlements the chance to be realized. You can trust in my word as a representative of your P's, but I will uphold the majority, for I am the lesser of two evils. Elected have I been by you, and so will I fulfill my post, to protect our ability to spoil and devastate your host. We must decide now if you can make the sacrifice and slay those that oppose us to maintain this collective strife. But whom can we not trust, Governor, bellowed apart amidst the mob? If all our goals be the same, therefore whose life need us rob? They are amongst you sheep, the governor triumphed in exclamation, indoctrinating you with falsehoods and priming you for damnation. If you are not with us, then let it be known as so, that you will perish as a traitor by the collective Gestapo. The piper is at the gates of dawn. The division bell doth echo. The dogs of war cry out. For the heart of the sun set the controls. And what of our body shall we stand? Hence we cut off our head by our own hand. Protested another part in its disorderly dismay. How doth we suckle the bottom as feeders in such disarray. Hen you are, you quibbling squawk, uprooting the roosting of the house, inciting desertion at the fane of fox, contesting the walk of the cock's clout. You, my creator of the earth, shall receive the rapture of your relief. Vigilant patriots of the collective, release this terrace from its grief. And without conscience the mass formed, round the particulate opposition, bludgeoned, marred, violated, and burned, so became the effigy of reason. Now you see for yourselves, allow your senses to rejoice, at the knowledge that the dissident are the cause of your unsung voice. Tall and mighty the governor hailed, with his fist firm to his chest. With my influence and your will, we shall annihilate the rest. Congregate, you parts, in all your fury and mass. Take to all the corners you dwell, and cease not until the last. For each and every infection that festers upon your corporeal, gouge deep within thyselves, for the plague that will cure you all. And with the vile verse of the governor greed, spawned an incompetent force to collude with the powers that be.